Hi, and welcome back to A Guide to Surviving Brain Injury and Stroke. So, last time I told you I was going to talk to you about my neurology appointment, and so I went on November 13th, Friday the 13th, and it was the best day ever. It took my brother and I longer to get up there and back than it did the whole appointment. They were really efficient. They were on top of everything. They were on the ball, literally. Um, so I went and saw her, and her name is Dr. Morgan, and she was amazing. So I wrote down some of the things, some of the questions that I had that I hope you can tell me, and some of the things she answered for me, and some of the things she said, I don't know that, but I'll set you up with somebody that can. And she made the appointments herself. Everything was done there. It was so efficient and so, like, refreshing to see that. But anyway, so, okay, so should I be on an aspirin for bloodthinning instead of warfarin because I had kidney failure and my second stroke was because of brain bleeding? So I've been on warfarin. That's a generic of Coumadin, and I've been on it since I had the stroke. So the first stroke was a clot that I had that went to my brain. That was a cerebellum stroke, and I understand that. But the second stroke I had 2 weeks later was because I had a brain bleed on it was called a pond stroke. And it was caused because I was on too much Coumadin. So she was kind of like, I can't believe you're still on it. I think you should be on a blood thinner, like an aspirin, but nothing heavier than that. But she's going to run tests to see, because she doesn't want to take me off of something and have me need to be on it. So she's going to look onto that. I said, I get headaches and bruises, and I have bleeding from my gums. My teeth seem to be worse. Is this from warfarin? And she said, no, there are other underlying causes, like my headaches. That's why I'm having CAT scans done and MRIs, because she wants to see what's going on first before she evaluates that. The bruises and bleeding from my gums is from warfarin. It's more easier to bleed. As you know, if you're on a blood thinner, it's easier to bleed from anything. Like I had a bloody nose the other day, and it took a half an hour to stop. So that's one of the side effects of being on a blood thinner. I'm having trouble losing the weight. Can warfarin affect weight loss or gain? No, it can't. She suggested that I do a whole blood panel with my doctor to see why I'm not losing the weight. I told her I already did check my thyroid, and it came back negative. So she still urged me to do a full panel on everything to see why I'm not losing this weight. Is stem cell therapy an option for me, like bioaccelerator? So I watched several videos on bioaccelerator. I think it's in Peru. But they have done amazing things with stem cell therapy with stroke patients. People that were wheelchair bound can now walk. People that couldn't talk much better. So it's not like everything is cured, but it's better. And so I wanted to see if something like that could make me better. So she said my insurance wouldn't cover anything, and they don't have anything like that, but she suggests I go to clinicaltrials.gov/stroke and see what's in my area and see if there aren't any trials going on to help me. When am I going to regain stamina? So, as you all know, I exercise every day. I go up and down the stairs at least 8 or 9 times a day, and I still get winded. I walked 7 miles one time, and I still get winded. I'm very active. So why am I not gaining stamina with this? Why am I not able to do it all the time and plus some? And she said, unfortunately, it's a side effect of the stroke. I'm trying not to cry. But when this happens, it's harder on your body. Like when I walk and talk, I get winded quicker than if I just were to walk. It's doing two things. Your brain is trying to do two things at the same time, and it's hard to get stamina back. And unfortunately, harder for people like us. Just is. But it's not impossible, and I'm not going to give up. um, will my emotions be controlled again? So she stated something about pseudobulbar effect, which I had in the beginning, and I've done videos here on that before. And I had a severe case in the beginning. I was really angry all the time over stuff I didn't even shouldn't have been mad at. And I cry all the time, and I was laughing at things that weren't funny. But those things have subsided. But I still cry. I cry when I'm mad. I cry when I'm happy. I cry when I'm sad. I cry when I'm scared, when anxiety, the list goes on and on. I cry for everything. And so I want to know if that can be controlled or stopped, or is there hope for me getting over it? And so she suggested an antidepressant. Well, I was on one. It was called Ativan. It's for anxiety, but it's also an antidepressant, and the side effects were worse than just not being on anything at all. So I opted to not do anything at all. So, but I'm not telling you that. What I should have done was tried another antidepressant or another anxiety medicine, or one of my friends, she's on a anti-seizure medicine that helps, I guess, with emotions. I don't know, but look into it. Okay? Will I ever be able to find the words I want to say again? It seems like it's in my head, but what I say is totally wrong, and I can't think of how to convey what I'm trying to say, especially when I feel the pressure. Like when I'm trying to convey how something made me feel. That's usually when I start to feel anxiety and cry. It's frustrating. So that's why she set me up with a neuropsychologist. I go see her on December 18th. Her name is Dr. Morgan. And so I'm going to tell you the difference between a neuropsychologist and a psychologist. Okay, a neuropsychologist is interested in the brain's cognitive functions such as attention, language, and memory. This is different from a clinical psychologist who mainly focuses on behaviors and emotions and therapy for related concerns. Neuropsychological tests evaluate functioning in a number of areas, including intelligence, executive functions such as planning, abstraction, conceptualization, attention, memory, language, perception, sensory motor functions, motivation, mood state and emotion, quality of life, and personal styles. So, what that basically means, in a layman's terms, how I viewed it, was a neuropsychologist deals with emotions caused from the stroke or brain injury. A psychologist deals with your behaviors that's totally unrelated. So, like I said, I go see her on the 18th, and I will update you on what she said. According to Dr. Wagner, my neuropsychologist, it's going to take 3 to 4 hours for her to evaluate me. So I'm kind of nervous because, I don't want to flunk, but you can't flunk these tests. They just want to see where you're at and where you're going, which I think, personally, every stroke victim should see a neuropsychologist. so far. Let me see her and then I'll tell you. But, so I have several personality changes that bother me, like cussing, non-confrontational, and I'm more sensitive and so on. Is that because those parts of my brains were damaged? And she said yes. So again, the neuropsychologist can help me with this. I also employed a speech and language pathologist, Allison, who was on my channel before. I got her to come back, and she's gonna practice with me those issues that I deal with. She's gonna try to put me under pressure. Unfortunately, when I'm not tired, it's not gonna make a difference. But when I'm tired, it really affects my speaking, expressing things. So she's gonna help me with that also. I'll let you know. What about that new medicine called Watchman? Well, Watchman is a medicine. Unfortunately, it's just for people that have had heart attacks, from what I understand, and it doesn't deal with stroke patients. Should I have a neuropsychologist? So I have a doctor's appointment with Dr. Morgan. And my final one is my eyes aren't the same. I have reading glasses, and I still can't see up close. I can't tell if I have something in my eyes or teeth. I can't tell if my eye makeup is right, stuff like that. Do you think that will improve with time? And she said probably not. But I just want to remind you, I'm not in denial. But she said, my other doctor said, when this eye was all the way over there, they said it would never be straight. Then they said I've never had prism glasses, which now I do. And so at least I know it's an effect of the stroke, but I have control of what happens next. So I won't be disappointed if I don't get it back. Well, I will, but you know what I mean. But I'm going to keep doing my exercises. They've helped me so much, and it's getting better. And hopefully I'll prove her wrong too about it. But anyway, so I had an appointment on the 13th with her, with my neurologist. Then she set up an appointment on the 13th, Friday the 13th. That was my neurologist. Then the 20th, I went to Penrod Imaging in Springs, and it was a CAT scan just for my chest. So my cerebellum stroke was caused because I had a clot in my clavicle area. So that test, which was contrast, was for just my chest. Then I go on the 11th to do another CAT scan and an MRI on my brain, which is contrast or dye again, to see if I had another stroke, what has repaired itself, what has rewired itself, so on and so forth. And then December 18th, I see the neuropsychologist. Then after that is when I see Dr. Wagner again, and she's going to tell me what all those test results came back as. And then we'll go from there. But I want to talk to you a minute about PTSD. A lot of us think of PTSD as only dealing with soldiers, and I don't want to take away from them, but ours is a different PTSD. Because, okay, for example, before I went in on the 20th, November 20th, for this part, the CAT scan for my chest, I got there, and then all of a sudden I was flooded with these emotions of like, oh my God, I was poked and prodded so much in the hospital, and they're going to inject an IV in my vein again, and what if they find too many scars and they can't get to it? What if they take like 10 times, because that has happened, 10 times, and they still can't find a vein? And I was like freaking out. Well, that's PTSD, one of our PTSDs. Another thing is going back to the hospital. I mean, I know rationally, I know it's no big deal. It's just another procedure that I have to do. But emotionally, it freaked me out. So I'm so thankful to my brother because he kind of, I'll just tell you a few of the things he said. So he told me there are things we want to do and there are things we have to do. And the things that we want to do, we can back out of. We can say, maybe not now. I'll do that later. And there are things that we have to do. And this is one of those things I have to do. And he reminded me that I wanted this. I wanted this ball rolling, right? And so in order to get the test results that I want, I have to do this, unfortunately. And this isn't going to be pleasant. It's not going to be something that I want to do, but I have to do. And so thank you, Jeff. I love you for that. And then he prayed with me. And thank God, praise God, because after we got through praying, I felt so much better. The pressure was alleviated from me. I had peace. I was still kind of nervous, but I had way more peace than I had before. And so I went in there, and it's all glory to Him because I didn't even feel the need to go in. Everything was fine. The dye went in. I did feel hot. That's another thing I was worried about. Was it going to affect me differently because I had the stroke? And it didn't, thank God. And everything went good. So all praise to Him, all glory to Him. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. So if there's something you have to do, rely on Him because He's the only one that can do something about it. And He did for me, and I'm so grateful. And so I'll let you know. I'll keep you updated on my appointments and what they said. I just wanted to do it quick, like, here's what happened and here's what's going to happen. I hope y'all had a wonderful Thanksgiving yesterday. And remember to celebrate every victory. And I sure do love you guys. And so if you have any comments about PTSD or you're a neurologist or neuropsychologist, whatever, your experiences, please leave them in the comments because I really am interested on what your experience was and what you found out. So celebrate every victory, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.